The lesson.
Oh, yeah.
On the topic of, hitting yards,
Yep.
can you sort of walk us through on what it'd be like, to go through the mission?
Yeah, if you're doing it, it's all about, I guess, when dudes are wanting to do it, you got to put in your homework, you know what I mean? Like, preferably you don't want dudes to have done it, recently themselves, because it can make spots hot, you know what I mean? It's hard to tell whether guys have done it or not, but, sometimes you can get inside information from people, and, or it gets around. But, you got to check it out, you'd want to check it out during the daytime, and, just make sure nothing looks suspicious, you know what I mean? Like, it looks all cool, if there's certain things you need to set up, whether to be able to get in, whether things have to be set up during the day, there's preparation work for sure, you know what I mean? You want to be way more prepared. Like, Friday you can, what do I got? Sweet, you know what I mean? You can go in with your scraps and stuff, but, it's harder to do. So you want to be, personally, if I was to be doing this stuff, you'd want to be more prepared, you know what I mean? Have everything set, ready to go, dudes would probably, like I said, you wouldn't want fingerprints on your cans and stuff like this. So you got to do, you wouldn't want, just in case shit gets lost and grabbed, the basic thing is you're going to be on camera, you know what I mean? You're most probably going to be on camera. It's what they hate the most getting done, you know what I mean? Like, if you're prolific with doing this sort of thing, that's who the transits are going to target above everyone else. Whoever's smashing the trains the most, Trans Adelaide stuff, they're going to be the hottest at the time. That's who, they hate that. So, yeah, it's a lot of homework, a lot of preparation, making sure everything's good. What you can during the day. Like, if you go there and there's sus-looking trannies, like transits, look like it could be cops. Like, well, they could be setting something up. They could be doing little stings for the next few nights, trying to, setting things up, And then on the night, it's just all careful. Like, it's a lot of common, a lot of dudes don't have common sense, but, it's a lot of common sense stuff as well. Like, you don't going to want to park your car right next to the spot and, just wander in, you know what I mean? Like, preferably, you'd probably want to park further away and, your license plate's like an ID. So, even silly things like you don't want to be people just, you hopping out of a car and they're thinking you're doing break and enters and they call the cops, you know what I mean? If the trains are in the yard, that means the trains have stopped running, so it's going to be late at night. So, someone pulls up out the front of your house and you hear them banging and clanging and backpacks, or what is it, tools or paint, like, what are they breaking into things? So, common sense stuff, and just being prepared. And always, you probably be prepared for, go out there, have your good time, but you want to be prepared for the worst as well. If shit goes down, where are you going to go? Like, what's your escape routes? Like, which way are you going to go? What's, where are they going to come from? Like, and then just getting in and getting it done. You know what I mean? Like, you can't go into it too much without giving away your tricks of the trade, but it's all, you're trying to get in there undetected and leave undetected and leave sweet as. It doesn't always end like that. You can have gnarly chases and still get away, which is, a good chase and you get away is always good fun as well, you know what I mean? If you get away, this is a good story, adrenaline's pumping, like, and, it's good fun, like it's about doing your piece, but, it is fun doing that shit, running amok, like, like,
and then
it's not just about the arts,
Yeah, there's the
good
other
bit of
side
vandalism
to it as well.
doesn't, good dose of vandalism doesn't go astray.
And then, so I guess with all the technology and the security stuff, I mean, is there any way that dudes are getting into yards without having to cut through fence?
Oh, the different spots, you know what I mean? Like, if you're saying worldwide, there's all types of ways.
I'm
but
talking
here
more
in particular,
Australia.
There's spots, but in Adelaide, you know what I mean? Like, thinking back then, dudes are probably... no, there's no other rule. Thinking back then, how things were getting done, you cut through it. So, like, there's your electric fences that have to be cut through, and touch them during the day like a dumbass, seeing whether they're actually on or not. They're on, like, So, you got to cut your way in. You got to cut, generally speaking.
So then I think, like, I've been told that with some of the fencing, like, as soon as you cut it, it'll trigger off a silent alarm.
Oh, back then, no, not in. Yeah, you know, there was the electric fences, so you weren't sure whether they were. If you cut them, what happens then? Like, you know what I mean? I don't think anyone was real sure whether if you cut the electric fence, it's set and, you know, that it is possible, that technology is there, but whether they're going to whether shitty-ass Trans Adelaide's going to put that much money into that type of technology then, I doubt it, you know what I mean? Possibly, yeah. You know.
And then, like, if you, like, cutting through electric fence, I mean,
well, it's not that bad. It's like a farm electric fence, isn't it?
So it's not some, like...
Oh, but when if someone's doing it and they're using bolties, like, you know, you got your rubber handles, like... It's not that bad. You can just snip it, you know. And then more the noise sometimes. Like I've, something, you know, I don't know, but you know, I've heard that, you know, if you snipping those electric fences, they can be pretty loud once that tight wire fucking lets go. You know, so that's the noise as well. You don't keep noise down. People hear, you know, like you know where all catch trains. You know where yards are. Houses are not that far away. So if you're making a racket, you know, I don't want to be pulling out a grinder. You know, although. You know, it's been done, you know what I mean? But makes it harder when you're making that much noise, I guess.
And then with hitting the yards, any sort of like, you know, like real memorable stories like amongst the graffiti community that, you know, are kind of like, you know, the whole community knows about these certain
It's
stories.
more pieces, I'd say. Like, you know, you hear the odd story. You mainly hear the bad stories, really. Like, you know, if you don't know dudes, you know they've done a nice piece. Like, you know, if you get the opportunity to see it back then, like I said, it might be just the next, you know, dirty deeds or something like that around the time, you know, shit was really happening for us. Like, you know, you get to see dudes' pieces. But realistically, personally, you mainly hear about the bad, you know, how much bullshit's chucked on top of it and how exaggerated it is one thing, but mainly hear about the bad stories, the chases, the busts, this dude got fucked up, or, you know, he's been done. But, you know, yeah, generally speaking, I don't really, you know, like, it's more about if you see a mad piece done, like, you know, it's done. You're more talking about shit, they got this done. You know, if you don't know someone, you don't really go into detail about how you did it, what happened, like, you know what I mean? It's just, you know, in the time that, you know, dudes I know and we're all doing shit, you know, you didn't talk too much, you know what I mean? Like, if you know shit gets done, but there's no reason for a crew that you don't paint with's going to know. Like, you're not going to, you don't want them to know. It's a bit different now, like you said, with social media and that. You're going to see it instantly who's doing what. But, you know, you don't want them to know, you know what I mean? Like, if you're getting shit done, you know, I don't want other dudes to know because they might be going, oh, they're getting that done. Or is this spot doable, is it? You know what I mean? Then they're going to have a crack at it. Whether they're successful or not, they might fuck it up.
And they can make it hot.
Yeah, they can fuck it up. Like, you know what I mean? So, you know, the key was really not to let anyone know, you know what I mean? Then the dudes older than me that, you know, showed me a few bits and pieces. They was even more secretive again, you know what I mean? They, nothing, you know what I mean? Even... I highly doubt anyone's phone was tapped, but you wouldn't even talk about it over. You know, just don't. If you're wanting to catch up to do something, don't talk about it over the phone. Certainly not text. Certainly not instant message or Instagram messages. Like, you know what I mean. You don't want to be. No thanks. Like, you know what I mean. There's a meet in person, and like I said, it's common sense. But there's like wild dudes out there that just don't really give a shit either. You know what I mean. Like, you know, personally, us dudes always had nice shit, you know, most of us worked, you know what I mean? You had shit to lose. Some dudes are like, just awesome. You know, I admire a lot of these dudes, man. Say just wild dudes don't have fuck all to lose, so they just go for it and smash things, you know what I mean? That's great. Love it. But, you know, I was always like, you know, I got a bit to lose, we'll just get it done, but, just, you know, you almost be paranoid about it, you know what I mean? Better to be more paranoid and it's a sweet mission than, you know, thinking you're a man and reckless and all of a sudden you're done. Like, yeah, no thanks. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you don't want cops knocking. No heat's the best thing. You know what I mean?
And I mean, I guess in relation to that, I mean, what are some of the penalties that you've heard people getting slapped with for, you know?
Well, back in the day, you know, dudes got locked up and stuff, you know what I mean? And, you know, like, yeah, you can get locked up if you know, certain old school riders have been locked up, you know, dudes I know, you know, locked up for it, you know, some of the first dudes to get locked up for graff in Adelaide. You know, mainly fines, you know, like suspended sentences. It depends on how much you've done, how much evidence they've got on you, you know what I mean? It's like anything, you know what I mean? Like, shit, dudes are robbing people and stuff, like, you know, how much can they ping on you? Like, your penalties keep going up. But, yeah, you can certainly get locked up. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, wow.
if you keep getting done, you'd want to, you know, some dudes, you know, get done multiple times. And, I don't know, they must have a good lawyer. Or some might be snitches. Who fucking knows, you know? Like, get away with it. Like,
And then I guess, you know, pretty much still on the same topic, because I imagine it happens in yards, but I don't really know. The whole thing with run-ups.
Yep.
So I guess for people that don't really know what run-ups are.
Run-ups and back jumps and that. You know, end-of-the-line stuff, or, you know, train terms, crossing loops. You know, like where trains have to pull over and so another one can pass, or end of stations. You know, you get shit, you know, there was 3-minute ones and stuff like that, where, like, or you can do team-ups in 3 minutes. So, you know, 2-3 of you smash out one crew piece maybe in 3 minutes. You know, like Adelaide's like, you know, certainly other states have a lot more and a lot more time in these things. Adelaide, shit, there was like 3-minute ones. Shit, if you got 10 minutes, was just crazy. You know what I mean? Like for a back jump or run up and that. But that's what it is, you know, the end of the line stuff, you know, crossing loops where they have to, you know, stop so another train can pass. They pull up there and fucking go for it.
And then, so therefore, a lot of the times, if not all of the times during run-ups, that's just full of passengers.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah. They get a good whiff of it, you know, get an experience themselves. Well, now they'll film you and put it on fucking Today Tonight or something, like, you know. But, yeah, of course, yeah, it's full of passengers, you know. Sometimes the driver gets a bit cheeky and, you know, we've had rocks, you know, some drivers, you know, loved it, threw rocks, you know, like throw rocks at people, you know, like, you know, you just throw them back. Yeah.
And then, so would you say that because, you know, the time difference, you know, only having 3, 5, 10 minutes, the passengers still being in the trains and that, would you say that run-ups are riskier or more difficult?
Definitely. Because you're there for, you're not cutting in, you know, generally speaking, you're not cutting in, you run up to a train, so you think, you know, realistically, like I said, think about it. If you right now ran up to a train and you're gone in 5 minutes, or if someone reported you instantly, how quick can
they get there
in that time, you know, or a yard, or I want to spend 40 minutes here. If they know, if somehow you get spotted as soon as you get in there and you're planning on 40 minutes, well, shit, anywhere in Adelaide they can get, you know, like you could be all the way out of Gawler and they're going to get there, like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, definitely yards a lot riskier. But then run-up spots and back jump spots get flogged too, like, you know what I mean? So they get hot. So cops know where they are too. They know what the deal is. They've got timetables. They know what the deal is. So if a spot's getting smashed all the time, it all gets reported. So if it's getting smashed, they're like, well, this, you know, it's not like every train will pull up there at certain times. So then they'll just chill and wait and try and bust you. And then it's, once again, you know, who's the fastest runner, I guess. Or if they sneak up on you good enough, they'll just nab you. So,
yeah, wow.
Yeah. But, you know, for a run-up, you have to, realistically, it has to be a setup, really, like, you know, for you to get done. Whereas, you know, yards, you plan on spending time. Not always, but, you know, you can jump in a yard and just try and knock out a quick 10-minute, you know what I mean? But if you want 20, 30, 40 or more, you know what I mean? You're spending time, you know, that's where you have to be more smart. You know, that's where people have their tricks to be able to spend the time in there, you know?
The lesson. Oh, yeah.